You can join us as we go along, check out the sights, sounds, and maybe hopefully some laughs. I know there's a million videos on YouTube of this kind of palaver, but this is ours. We're going to make it very personal, aren't we, Captain?
We are.
So without further ado, we're going to pack up, put one foot in front of the other, and you can check out the scenery and maybe some drone footage too. Nice to have you with us. As you've seen before, here's some of the viewpoints we can look forward to on the way. Connick Hill, Ospreys, Ben Lomond, where we'll be staying in the youth hostel at Rower Denon, Glen Fallock, when the captain finally pulls his finger out, we might get to Ben Nevis. So here we are. The captain's banging away, we're a couple of miles in, and we just thought you'd give a bit of a reflection on how things have gone. Because I'm a little bit out of my comfort zone. As you know, me and the captain frequent Cumbria a lot, occasionally the Pennines or the Peak District. So this is pretty good if you check out the scenery. It's a very, very gentle walk through shady trees to the side of the edge of the sort of country park that this is in. Then we'll be able to get the drone up. So you can take some confidence that even if you arrive like we've done, 12:30 in the afternoon, once you've adjusted your gear, decided you're ready to go, it is quite sedate. Next up, Dryman. So it looks like about 4 mile in, still 8 miles to Dryman. Scenery just subtly changes. The sort of hill we've been rising falls away, and you can see a bit of a glen there in the distance with some of the Scottish mountains in the distance, Bens, Munros, whatever you want to call them. But a noticeable change in terrain, would you say, Captain? Country lanes over,
Oh yeah.
wandering along through great glens. Like I say, early days yet, and the weather isn't absolutely perfect for this kind of palaver. We're being not a breath of wind, and it's 28 degrees, but this is fantastic. You can see for miles. I don't know which mountains those are going to be, but I think I'm impressed.
I'm guessing that's diamond over there, is it?
This what?
Is that diamond over there?
Could be. It looks like a town or something. I guess we're going to find out. More than halfway. We're going to forego the distillery because there's still nearly 6 miles to go, and the path is a straight line. And as you can imagine, if we start sampling the wares in a Scottish distillery, I don't think the captain or I are going to be able to finish this first stage today. So we can just see what we'd say that is now, Captain, 800 metres away.
Yeah.
There's a pub right there where the path, the West Highland Way, crosses the main road. So we report back on how good that is. Because if you're going to come this way, you're going to need to know where to go, what to expect, and where to put your feet up. And on that bombshell. Oh! Well, we're not at the end. The other pub was closed, but this place is called Turnip the Beat. It's some kind of organic place where they have crisps and food and cake and chocolate. So the captain's got haggis flavoured crisps, so I'm not sure we're going to go that far. But what I am going to do is go for some genuine sort of Scottish cider. So we're going to take half an hour out. The lady says it's not Dryman. I've been pronouncing it wrong. It's Dryman. So it's still 4 or 5 miles. We'll get there when we get there. But in the meantime, bottoms up.
Bottoms up.
So after a bit of a break at the Turnip the Beat, I guess it's a bit of a pun. It's still 4 miles to Dryman, as I'm corrected by a local lady. And that's going to take us around about a couple of hours because we're not hurrying. However, you can probably hear in the background the rumble of quite a bit of thunder. We're looking back over our shoulders where we've come today. It's absolutely tiddling down over that sort of ridge of the edge of the hills we sort of wandered down when we came down from Milngavie. So we'll see. So at the moment we can feel that breeze picking up as the storm closes in. Looking at our ETA at Dryman to be about 7 o'clock, but we're making good time at the minute, so probably 6:30. We're trying to stay ahead of the thunderstorm. We'll see what happens. In the meantime, enjoy the scenery. Let's have a look over here, Captain. Oh, very nice. on a hot day, which it still is. Yeah. Ooh. So, Captain, a couple of miles to Drimmen. How are you feeling?
Awesome.
It's been easier than I thought, but more challenging in other ways. I think the heat has been difficult. What do you think?
Yeah, but it's not the end of the world.
No, we found enough places to get supplies. Drinks are essential. There's been a couple of places we can fill up with cold water. I think it's important just to take your time and not rush. But also, as we just start to come here again, Captain, just to your right, if you just have a look over here, you can probably just start to make it out beneath the cloud in the distance there. We start to see some of the lower outlines of the Highlands. So Drimmen is over in that general direction. Another 2 miles, which is about 45 minutes walk. The weather started to cool down because I think the storm has started to break. It hasn't rained on us. We're getting a nice cool breeze. Who'd have thought it? 28 degrees in Scotland. Well, the scenery as well as the weather continues to change. Seeing a bunch of forests on the horizon now. And the thunderstorm we were hoping to avoid caught us up. But we weren't caught unawares. All the gear and usually no idea. But on this occasion, straight on with the stuff. So we're less than a mile from Drimmen. We're going to wander along this country lane. And our ETA is still between 7:15 and 7 PM, and it being June, the middle of June, it's not going to go dark this side of 10:15. There we go. Welcome to Drimmen. And I think I've just found where we're staying. The Clachan Inn. Excellent. So there we are. The Clachan Inn, 12 miles, 6.5 hours. Thunderstorm. Time to get a pint. Wouldn't you say, Captain?
I would say.
Let's go and find our room. See you tomorrow. So that was Drimmen. Now on to Roedennen. 12 to 13 miles, depending which option you take. Connick Hill or along the side of the Lochs. So we've got more time and the same distance as yesterday. So it's going to be more drone, more photography from the captain, and more putting our feet up, maybe with a cup of tea with a jet boil as we go along. So let's see how it goes. Delicious breakfast, Captain. What have you got?
Scottish sausage, no less, bacon and black pudding.
Winner. Just what you need to start the next part of the day. Right, after that lovely repast, the captain and I are just heading out to Drimmen, and we're just going to join back up with the West Highland Way. We're going to head north towards Roedennen. So between 12-13 miles it's saying, isn't it, Captain?
Yeah.
We've got all our gear. Got all our gear.
No idea.
Got all our gear, no idea. Weather's going to be much more forgiving for outdoor loonies like us. And as the scenery changes, we'll start to show you some of it. In the meantime, here's the way out of Drimmen. So we're just about to enter Queen Elizabeth Forest Park. I think it's Carabdan Forest, its actual name, however you pronounce it.
Okay.
So at the moment, just a corridor of trees, and I believe the scenery is going to open up when we get close to Loch Lomond. In the meantime, we're just taking it easy. Not too bad a gradient. How's the old pins doing there, Captain?
Sound.
Excellent. On we go. Lots of opportunities for adventure, and we're going to have a look into the Caravan Forest. Just coming to the edge of the forest, Garabdan Forest, however you pronounce it. where the path will split two directions. Go to the right, we do Conic Hill, or left, down to the shores of the loch, and probably something more picturesque. So, as we've agreed, debated, chewed it over, benefits of Conic Hill are going to be views, but really sore knees, and we're not here to really summit a lot of things. We don't need to tick it off. Ben Nevis is for that. So we're going to err on the side of comfort, and we're going to mooch on down to head left instead of right, round the edge of Conic Hill to the edge of the loch, and just enjoy the scenery there. Stop for a cup of tea and not worry too much about another hill we've ticked off. So like we said, a slight detour. It seems that 99% of the folks are going to go up and over Conic Hill, not for us with the old gammy knees. So we get the benefit of seeing the loch a bit sooner, stop in Balmaha for a pint, and knees and joints are able to continue for a bit. Maybe a wise option for the middle-aged viewer and a traveller along the West Highland Way, wouldn't you say, Captain?
Oh, I think so.
Welcome to Balmaha, where the path comes down off Conic Hill and we have a drink. Awesome. So the Captain and I have met the Alfred Wainwright of Scotland, Tom Weir, who was very well known for travelling across the mountains. He doesn't like a very tall man. Looks like he's getting on a bit. I don't want to speak ill of him, but it seems that everything does shrink with age, Captain, as we're starting to find out. But this gentleman seems to have been the, like I say, the Alfred Wainwright of Scotland, sort of blazing a trail for folks, the Conic Hill there and so forth. And there we go, into the Highlands. Now it seems that the road we're on, thank you Tom, as you were, road's going to go along here and through the woods, and as the road turns right and goes around, we're going to follow the edge of the loch round and then onto Roadennan. So maybe another 5 or 6 miles. We've got plenty of water, the weather's good, the Captain's banging away with the new camera like he does, and things are going absolutely peachy. Thank you Tom, thank you Loch Lomond, thank you Scotland so far, and we'll see what comes up next. So far from Balmaha, we've had, other than the footage you saw really from the top of that hill, only wee glimpses through the trees at the side of the loch. You can just get little glimpses where there's been little campsites or somewhere to sit. So the route just continues on, winds around, and eventually end up at Roadennan. So as you can see, little snippets of the loch through the trees, and obviously we're going to stop in a bit and make ourselves comfortable with a cup of tea and a biscuit as we go along. So we're not rushing. This has been quite sedate, easy on the knees, and it's good. Still a little muggy, it's trying to rain. But look at this, just as you come close to the edge of the loch, you get little snippets like this.
That's quite nice.
Folks out there on the paddleboard, just see them. We can see a pleasure cruiser. You take your time. We'll be doing what we do later on. You can put your feet up the side of the loch, maybe have a cup of tea. So the path, the Highland Way, eventually brushes right close to a bit of the edge of the old loch there. It's as simple as keep the loch to your left, keep the hills to your right, and just follow it along. Lovely. And it weaves its way, as the Captain snaps some of his awesome pictures, weaves its way along here with dipping out the woods and glimpses of the loch as we go along. So we've had a spot of tea and a biscuit, and things are all absolutely super, aren't they, Captain?
What's that, mate?
Things are all super. We've had a cup of tea.
Couldn't be better.
Unless we had roller skates. It really is nice. There's enough of a breeze away from the road. Still can't see the old Loch Lomond there. It's going grand. We've still got plenty of water. Okay, maybe we're still a couple of hours away from Rowan. The further we go, every step, we're getting away from the touristy bits and onto the quieter routes where, you know, we're going to have the wide open spaces to ourselves. Isn't that right, Captain? How are you feeling?
Warm, but very good.
Good. One thing we've noticed as we move along this trek, the West Highland Way, yes, there's little pockets of tourist places, like if you went to Windermere, Bowness would be absolutely heaving with people. But once you get just a few minutes off the beaten track or just continue on your way, the people just seem to disappear. The lakeside sort of area just back there was swarming with people. Half an hour walk up the coast, as it were, feels like a coast. There's nobody. Peace and quiet, a chap in a boat. And the camera of the captain here, capturing it all for posterity. It's absolutely beautiful. And we're just starting to turn the corner. Well, the captain and I have washed ashore at the Rowan Hotel because, as we know, the youth hostel doesn't serve evening meals. So the captain's guides us safely to port by keeping an eye on the old sea charts. So thank you for that, Captain. So just while we gather ourselves for another half a mile to the youth hostel, going to sink one of these and look over some of the pictures perhaps, and then we're going to rummage on what to look at to the old menu. Steak and ale pie looks rather good. So on that fabulous culinary bombshell, we're going to draw a line under it. Cheers, Captain. We're all but complete. You'll see a bit more footage as we sashay slowly to the youth hostel after this. Bottoms up. So, suitably refreshed, Captain and I are metres away from Rowan Youth Hostel.
Hooray!
Hooray! So today things are better because I've been more proactive in actually taking stuff every 4 hours to help with the old knees. And you're on a tip-top form, aren't you there, Captain?
Awesome.
Awesome. So another few metres to go, maybe a couple of hundred. We can see the loch again. We're moving along that tomorrow. So Youth Hostel any second. Book our breakfast and then put our feet up. Lovely. So here we are, Rowan Youth Hostel. Awesome.
Nice.
It is lovely. It's been a little while since I was here. Lovely. And there we are. Driven to Rowan. Here's the Youth Hostel. It's time to put our feet up. Okay, good morning. Rowan Youth Hostel. It's Sunday,
8 o'clock.
17th of June. Don't know. It's our third full day here in Scotland, as you can see, with the captain here.
Good morning.
And Loch Lomond is just here right behind us. The weather hasn't quite broken into thunderstorms and unpleasantness, but we're setting off for Crean Larrick, I believe it's called. My Garmin is indicating it's 33 kilometres away. That's the downside.
Oh.
However, the upside is the elevation is pretty much zero, just a faff along the side of Loch Lomond till we get near our next destination. Then it starts to climb a little bit, but there'll be lots of trees to see today, glimpses of Loch Lomond, and probably some sore knees, but we've got all the medication. So without further ado, Captain's ready, I'm ready, let's do it. Good morning and welcome to Scotland. So another of the numerous honesty boxes that line the way, which you can see ahead of us. Jolly nice, where people put out drinks, crisps, some high energy stuff, and you can chuck in a pound coin or two and you can help yourself, which is good because between often here and there, wherever here and there are, there's actually usually very little, is the captain, on some places. Yeah. Yes, but we're stocked up, pretty much ready, and I think it's going to be a long day. If it stays remotely like this with a cool breeze and no hammering burning sun, but it is what it is. Good morning from a very tranquil Loch Lomond. So as the captain and I move up the edge of Loch Lomond, which essentially is going to be a long distance gritty path walk in the trees you can see here. We're just glimpses of the loch now again. We thought we'd just take a couple of minutes just to come down and give you a taste of what you'll see and what you'll hear as you journey up towards Kinlochleven. And it's absolutely stunning. It's just after 8 AM. We've only been going a few minutes, but we thought while we can get down to the edge of the loch, we'd come down and show you. Rickety steps, and then you can just start to see some of the Highland Mountains in the distance. Still not a lot of water here, Captain. Now the route's changed again, so we're probably able to crimp off a few miles on this, which is quite easy underfoot, complete contrast. Breeze picking up as we get close to the end of Loch Lomond. Still a lot less water than I expect. Just coming up on Inversnaid, and there'll be a hotel. This is the one I remember, with a bridge over a great big waterfall. So by hearing it, I don't think it's completely dried up, so we're going to be good to cross. Let's see where it is there, Captain. Oh yes, look at that. So I'm going to think the path goes up and around and to the hotel where there'll be drinks. Smashing. Well, we're going the right way while the captain continues up the right way. We've just about reached a bit of a punctuation point in the journey at Inversnaid. Awesome.
So, where are you guys going today?
Our journey will take us up the lake another 22 kilometres to Crianlarich. We've already done 11. This is just stop number 1. We'll have a stop number 2 maybe at the end of the lake. Sorry, Loch, because we're in Bonnie, Scotland. We're looking at an 11 to 12 hour day. And on that bombshell, it's back to the studio. Inversnaid Hotel. Bit of an in-flight refueling. The captain's had a tuna sandwich. I've had a bit of cheese.
It was too.
Very nice it was too. Should be for the money. And we're going to continue. We'll see where we end up. Oh, the sun's coming out. Well, a lady who's been travelling the opposite way, and we told her we're going to Crean Larrick, she said, "You've got a wee way yet to go." So, I think that's quite the understatement, probably of the week, but choices were made. Weather's getting blue sky. We thought it'd be raining by this time of the day. It's lovely. Captain and I are pressing on. We'll get there when we get there. Won't we, Captain?
Indeed we will.
Terrain's changing a little, Captain, isn't it? So that's pretty much the head of Loch Lomond. The course, according to my Garmin, turns a bit inland, then we start to hit some inland sort of woodland trails that are away from the shore. So the captain bangs away the last of his couple of shots, refill some water if we can. The fresh water stream's coming out. Gotta say they're looking a little brackish and dry. I mean, look at the state of this. But we'll move on, move inland. So it's time for a cup of tea, maybe a dehydrated meal. Well, we've wandered away from Loch Lomond, and the weather, contrary to the weather reports, the forecast, has stayed at about 28 degrees with not a breath of wind and not a sign of a thunderstorm or rain at all. So the captain and I have just come out of this little coppice, and the path in a sort of outdoorsy, like the routes we had on the very first days we really came out of Milngavie. It's kind of gone back to that, which is easier on the feet, help us gently pick up the pace, maybe a smidgen, and I think you'll agree, if you're one of our typical viewers, that climbing up and down isn't great for your knees. So we're just going to mooch on. Captain's doing his thing, and then we'll have a reassessment once we're over this little hillock. So the captain there, refilling his bladder with an MSR water filter. You squeeze it, you put the end in the river, squeezes the water up, filters it, puts it in his bladder. Important to have, because if you run out up here on a hot day like it is, yeah, things can get problematic. How did that work, Captain? Good for you? Yeah.
Looking
nice.
good.
Looking good. Bear grills. Well, mixed grill.
Yeah.
Right, probably about 4 hours still to go. It's 4 PM, but the pace will pick up a bit later. Captain and I are just having a break on the only hill that leads out of the valley where Loch Lomond is, and I'm just about to get the old jet boil on just to make a little bit of something. So that's lovely. You enjoy the scenery, we'll enjoy the food. Hey folks, as you can see over there, we've just left the lovely Loch Lomond behind us, and the path now winds over this hill. There'll be a title along here actually naming it, so we thought with maybe another 4 hours to go, maybe 3, it's 4 PM, and yes, that could be an 8 PM arrival, and we set off at 8:15. So if we have tea now and a bit of pain relief, maybe a mug of tea, we'll be okay when we get there at 8 PM. It's not a race, but we neither want to be hungry nor in discomfort. So there we go, we're taking care of both. Bon appetit. Just for the record, just past Bin Glass campsite, and we're currently about 6 miles from the end. And as you can see, the way has improved itself immeasurably. So we can get our feet down a bit, get our foot down a bit, get our foots down a bit. Get our feet down a bit and up. Worn away. Last couple of kilometres into Crianlarich. Just paralleling the main road here. Little quiet trickle. Again, another sign how dry Scotland's been recently. So, not far now. Weather starting to change. A welcome breeze and a few spots of rain. So the remaining kilometre 2 or so, it's been little trickles through the long grass. Again, you're going to do it at your pace, not ours. But things that have slowed us down have been, well, enjoying the scenery on the way, stopping and taking some pictures, and actually sitting with a cup of tea in awe at some wonderful landscape. The kind of stuff that the captain's just enjoying as he pedals gently towards the finishing line now. So, you do it in your time, we're all a bit different. But don't forget to stop and smell the flowers. Under you go, Captain.
Until the roof gets lower.
Okay. Awesome. Oh, the bells. I'm stuck. My handles got stuck on the roof. Can you help me out? Am I out?
You're through.
Oh. Oh. Bit bigger than the other one. Ooh. Just saw a little journey, I think, whizzing around and over the summit there, the edge of that hill. I think we'll be in spitting distance to the end, eh, Captain? Yeah. And you are spitting feathers. So the Captain and I have left the West Highland Way a few hundred metres back there, where it goes off over those pine-covered hills. So at the moment, this is going to be a slow descent into Crianlarich. We're about 1 kilometre away from the youth hostel. We've been going just under 12 hours, like we talked about earlier, and we'll be checking in. So the next video you see will be success, tea and medals, and we can have a look at the hostel. I haven't seen it in 14 years, no idea what it looks like, can't remember, but check it out on this next video. Oh yes, sight for sore eyes. So there we have it, 21, probably 21.2 miles, maybe a bit enough more than we could tube. It doesn't matter now because we're here. We're about a mile off the actual route, because I think the Captain's quite relieved. Captain, you made it.
Oh God, yeah.
And here we are, Crianlarich Youth Hostel. Time is 2014, exactly 12 hours. Would you believe it? Bizarrely, but we've had lots of fun, taken lots of pictures. No drone action today, but there you go, there will be tomorrow. A lovely place. Anyway, droning on, yeah, drone action. Anyway, thank you for joining us. Please feel free to leave a comment in the section below, but from now, it's goodbye from me and from the Captain.
Ta-da!
Morning, it's Monday, June the 19th. We're at Crianlarich Youth Hostel, me and the Captain here.
A little bit overcast, the midges are having a good go at us.
But it's not 28 degrees as it was yesterday. So the plan, as the Captain will confirm, is Crianlarich, that's how you pronounce it, to Bridge of Orchy. Now, not exactly slumming it, because the youth hostel was awesome, but we're going to treat ourselves, indulge ourselves a little bit, because we're going to an hotel. Not just any hotel, but the Bridge of Orchy. So it's drizzling a little bit, the midges are out in force, we've got our cream on, I've had to put some Sudocrem on because of a nappy rash brought on by sweat. First time ever for me, but then it's probably the first time it's been hot for 3 days in a row in Scotland. So we're going to make our way back up to where we separated from the path and then see what we find. Anyway, more scenery to come. 12.5 miles today to the Bridge of Orkney, so not the purgatory it was yesterday. And on that bombshell, let's not get run over by the Royal Mail van. Well, just passing Green Larrick's railway station. We'll be passing through later on this week. You can see in the distance huge clouds, a bit of mist, a bit of drizzle rolling in from the fells there. But it's quite an easy pickup to get back to the main route. You just come into the railway station if you're coming from the youth hostel, and essentially one of the first things you'll see is, there you go, the West Highland Way, and the captain's going to be on his way.
On his way.
On his way.
Slowly.
And I'm going to be on my way too. So watch this space. More stuff coming up. At the minute, rejoining the route. Right, a brief ascent for the captain and I, just to come back to where we split off from the route yesterday. So, as you saw yesterday, the sign pointing the way. So we're going to go this way, Tyndrum and the West Highland Way. So the weather's got a little friskier, a little on the rainy side, but it is Scotland, and the plus sides are less midges. We've got the right gear. As you know, we've got no idea. We're going to keep mooching on. We'll be in the forest soon. Probably won't be a breath of wind or a lot in the way of sound or a lot to see, but we'll press on. Okay, Captain?
All good.
So, coming up out of the valley, into the forest, this will wind its way beautifully through a brooding dark forest, eventually finding ourselves at Tyndrum, where we'll have drinks and so forth. Lovely. Well, after the fantastic weather of the last 2 or 3 days, I imagine if that had continued, the views from here would be quite spectacular. They are in their own way. The big cloud bank there, showering itself onto the valley. Quite amazing picture if you can pull it off, Captain. But yes, it's June 19th. It's just the way it is. Scottish weather being Scottish weather. So, can't see any of the peaks, but I don't think that matters because we're enjoying it our own way. For example, the way this fell here is sort of almost sinisterly hidden in that huge bank of cloud that's just drifting from right to left in its own good time. Dark and a bit foreboding, sort of a Lord of the Rings style-y. So we'll let the captain bag a couple of pictures of that, and you'll see some of those fantastic pictures, because he's a bit of a legend with that, at the end of this video. A little bit of a slideshow, if you will. So the path carries on through the forest, as it does. We'll eventually wind our way downhill and get to Tyndrum, where there'll be tea and biscuits. In the meantime, I'm going to put some more footage on. It's a lot of forest, a lot of rain, but we'll see you in Tyndrum. Enjoy. Next stop, Tyndrum. Huh. Series of drops there, Captain, all the way down, look. It's all the way down there. There's a bit of rain to help with the old level. Nice. Well, that was lovely. According to the Captain OS map, that was Hreveburn. It's kind of dropping down in little stages from here to the valley in Tindrum. Smashing. Right, carry on. So as part of the West Highland Way, there's always lots of people going the same direction as you. If you look behind the Captain there, there's a bit of a Duke of Edinburgh, outward bound, and other associated folks are on the way, same place we are, which is jolly nice. But because everyone moves at a slightly different pace, there's always time to stop, have a slurp of tea, maybe a biscuit, and let everybody pass you by. So you can enjoy this in relative solitude. It's nice to see other folks as you trundle along. There you go, Captain. Ah, now I remember this bit. It's more like it. Lovely. That's the River Finnan. 3 kilometres to Tindrum. We're going to start to turn the corner here and get a little bit of a taste of walking on the road. Lovely. So, almost in Tindrum. We're by the old lead smelting plant, according to the little guide there. There's a marker here of what went on in the past. It looks probably half a mile or less to Tindrum. So we'll just keep going. That's a cup of tea. Put your feet up. Oh, and cake. Can I have cake? Okay. Well, there we go. We're going to bear right along this part of the West Highland Way. That was Tindrum. You're not missing that much. Catering for passers-by with cars, so very expensive fish and chips or slices of haggis. Meanwhile, the Captain and I are just going to turn to starboard, carry on. How are you feeling, Captain, in the rain?
Awesome.
You seem pretty dry in there.
A little wet down below.
Well, that's enough
wrong
of that.
choices were made earlier.
Were wrong choices. You've seen some potential blisters.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't have pain relief there, but I can have some in the next half hour, so let's see how we get on. So, that was Tindrum. Like we said, you're not missing much, but it just happens to be a stage on the West Highland Way where there's a corner shop and yada. Not really catering for walkers. Talking of walking, we'll get on with it. Well, we'll say farewell to Tindrum. Just crossing the railway line now that runs all the way up into Fort William. And the path now will essentially stick to its old routes to the military roads. And we'll wander along the side of this bend here. And as you can see, well into the rainy distance amongst the bends with the clouds on top. So head down, backside up, let's start ticking off those miles. Right, as the old military road winds its way to the emptiness of these valleys on the way to Bridge of Orkney, I think the captain and I can report back at being quite grateful about the standard of this track when we compare it to what was around Loch Lomond and some of the stuff yesterday. So I think you're in agreement. You were quite pleased to get the old plates on this, weren't you, Captain?
Oh yeah.
So it is going to be more of the same this way, but it's all good. Lovely. Nice Scottish water feature there.
Yeah.
Look, loving the captain's garden, wouldn't you,
You
Captain?
wouldn't see that in B&Q, would you?
You wouldn't. Didn't make you wanted to have a tinkle?
Yeah, it's that kind of feeling, isn't it?
Look at that. Road goes ever on and on. Lovely. The rain comes, the rain goes. Lovely memory of Thomas Eaton. Oh. River's a bit more swollen, I think, because we've had plenty of rain, Captain. Just 5k to the Bridge of Orkney. A moody bend there, with the wind following us, blowing the cloud along. So just 3k from Bridge of Orkney now. Weather's just starting to catch up again. Might have to stick the old raincoat on. That's looking back towards Tyndrum, the way we've come. So the cloud still snagging itself on the summit of that ben over there and wrapping itself around this here. Can't name them. If I can, we'll stick a caption on the screen. And they all seem to be rushing off in this direction, generally north, which is the direction we're going as well. Right, carry on, Captain, after you. This is Bridge of Orkney railway station. So we know we're going the right way. Big windswept fell there. Okay, I think we're on the right track here, Captain, because there we go. You saying it's down here somewhere?
I don't know.
Gonna find out, aren't we? Ah, there we are.
As I thought it was going to be.
No, is it Hover's interview? That's a big thumbs up from the captain of I. So what's that today? 13, 14 miles? Around that, taking a very sedentary kind of time. And I think we're going to be rewarded with a nice bed. And I'm going to have a rum and coke. And later on we'll have a look at the old Bridge of Orkney itself. This is absolutely splendiferous. Right there, let's get unpacked and on that bombshell. Good morning from the Bridge of Orkney Hotel. It's Tuesday the 20th of June. I'm here with the captain.
Aye, aye.
Myself, we're going to set off along towards Kinlochleven today, isn't it? We'll be moving over the Bridge of Orkney, where we're going to head towards Loch Tulla, round the edge of that. We're going to take ourselves past Inversnaid Hotel, then Rannoch Moor to the King's House Hotel, skirting that, up the Devil's Staircase and into Kinlochleven eventually. Now, a couple of things about today's route. The weather is uncertain. However, the distance isn't. We're looking at 21 miles. 21 miles of showers, pretty much guaranteed by midday, thunderstorms and lightning, but spectacular scenery. This kind of stuff up here. Cloud grasping the fells there. You can see what's ahead of us. Let's go. So the captain's got his gloves on for speed. Speed. Because with speed comes friction. With friction comes discomfort. So he's going to go smooth.
Hey.
So, going to get a foot down a bit. You'll still see all the lovely scenery in between the showers of rain.
And it was moaning that we're wet through.
And us moaning that we're wet through. But the first item on the agenda, scenery wise, is the Bridge of Orkney. Fantastic. Because it's the River Orkney, obviously. And this is the bridge over the Orkney. Unless I'm wrong, there'll be a title somewhere contradicting me. Yes, 21 miles. However, the terrain is different from what it was around the edge of Loch Lomond. This is more military road. Yeah, there'll be a gradient, but it's not going to quite be like as bad as it was there. So, as you can see, this is the route we're taking. Flatter, easier. The official route, we'll be honest here, goes over the fell. Our hips and knees are not going to allow that, even with the amount of painkillers are on. So it's a compromise. If anything, this is looking like about 1.5 miles further. So it's good to be honest. The route actually goes over the fell, but I think we're going to struggle. Aren't we, Captain? We're going to do this. It's a little bit further, but it's going to be a little bit more doable, would you say?
Aye.
What eye-popping first thing in the morning, isn't it?
Mm.
Well, how right they are. How are those thighs there, Captain?
Burning.
Not returning then?
Not coming back.
Not coming back. Okay, well, we're ticking off the miles on an awesome road, and we'll soon be at the Hotel Inversnaid. Coming up, Loch Tulla. That's the hall shown on OS's Black Mount, a Skyfall type home. Fells in the background there, just hiding behind this island. There's a wee waterfall we'll see later. So this is Loch Tulla. And the footpath is going to go essentially past the hotel, across Victoria Bridge, through those trees there, behind here, and the forest just in front of me, other side of the loch. It goes over there, then over the brow there, and continues towards Bath Bridge. So, kind of a big S shape. If you look on a map, lovely, peaceful, still. Still cloudy on the tops of the fells. There we go. Well, there's a shop just next to the Inversnaid Hotel there, where there's a line in the road that shows we've done 100 kilometres, so it's a hooray!
Hooray!
Hooray! But the road is allowing and the gradient seems willing, so we're going to keep this pace up. 18 and a bit miles to go. Like we said, we're not in a rush, but we're conscious of the distance remaining, and knees and hips being what they are. So we're going to carry on enjoying the views, as you can see here. Lovely fells. Be a great place to come to do some day hikes. Staying in the Inversnaid Hotel. We're not, so our route's going to take us over the brow, behind the pine trees over there, and then into the valley where Rannoch Moor is, and onto Bar Bridge, and eventually King's House Hotel. ticking off the kilometres. This is the forest above the house we saw there, Black Mount, like a big mansion on the banks of Loch, and this is the water that feeds it by all accounts. So we're kind of leaving the environs of Black Mount and Loch estate there behind. No more trees for quite some time, and the next place of any kind of note is the King's House Hotel, which at this point is 8 miles away across Rannoch Moor. So the captain here and I are steadying along, stop for some water, refill on the edge of Rannoch Moor with the filter. You can just see the path scooching in the distance of a couple of folks here, and just some just as you go around there, just on the edge of the picture there, making their way north. So everybody, it seems, ticking off this part of the West Highland Way today. Good for them. Looking to my left, we've had a look on the OS map. That's Ben Toig, according to the OS map, or at least that's easy for you to say. So still stunning scenery over here. Got the bends shrouded again in cloud. A little bit of rain starting to get up, but it's just helping to cool us down. We've got jackets and all the good things, so not an awful lot of spectacular scenery to see from this point. However, I think you'll agree as we go along, it's beautiful in its own way. We continue, the captain in pole position there as we set out for Bar Bridge. Get a bit of fresh water, maybe a cup of tea. So it's at this point, pretty much this time of day, when you start bumping into lots of folks carrying their kit and doing their attempt at the West Highland Way. So a little conga of people starting to accumulate just as we go over the brow and towards King's House Hotel. But it's all lovely, everybody all nice and friendly and helpful, sort of geeing each other along, so it's pretty good. Captain's still spanking along, and as you can see, another little wee group of people sort of joining in like a little procession. But it's all good, you'll enjoy it. King's House Hotel, 6k.
Okay.
Need a piss, Captain?
Nope. Need this to work properly.
Captain just taking this opportunity. Now we've left Rannoch Moor, just about to enter Glen, and you can see just along here the A82 running along into Glen, and just here that's the King's House Hotel, just back from the road a little, and then the route goes along the base of this hill here, this fell. We go round the back, and that's the Devil's Staircase taking us into the next valley. And this big brooding monster here, these are all sort of shoulder to shoulder, sort of big Munros that are guarding the entrance to Glen, like the big buggers they are. There we go. Start of Glencoe. Serious mountain stuff. Glencoe. So, King's House Hotel just down the path there. The captain's still alive and kicking. You alright, Captain?
Awesome.
So we're going to have a bit of a break, tea and medals, before we press on to the Devil's Staircase. Might be aptly named. So there we go, Rannochmoor behind us, Glencoe ahead of us. Good times. Across the A82. Lovely. Glencoe in the background. King's House Hotel. Time to put feet up and have a drink.
Around the other side,
I'd say go around there. I can see rucksacks down there. Yeah. After the King's House Hotel, the way runs parallel to the A82. You can see it just over there to the left. As we go a bit deeper into Glencoe, and then it's going to turn its way northwards and up the Devil's Staircase. The Devil's Staircase, and here it is. So it's starting to rain. Coats on. This will take us a good while to get the top off. So rather than film every centimetre we climb, because all we're going to do is sweat and not be able to talk, we'll take some pictures as we go when we get a chance, and you can see that coming up in the next section here. Lovely. So getting up the Devil's Staircase a bit, we're still in awe of this huge ben here as the light changes. So I like to pull those fissures and cracks and cliff faces in it. It's amazing. So there'll be a caption on the screen to name the ben, probably tell you how high it is. So take a breather as we get some height, but it appears as the staircase gets going, it's going to be approximately here, zigzagging to the top, and we'll get there in one piece because there is no option. Maybe unlike the captain and I, you're not two mounds of middle-aged, sweating, slightly corpulent blubber. But it's aptly named the Devil's Staircase for a reason, because it's certainly been sent from hell when you're this far into a 22 or 23 mile walk, Captain. Today, our total. It's around about the 22 mile mark, and in the last 5 miles you face this that winds around up here and on into the next valley, where we're probably about 4 miles away now. But choices were made. A common phrase between me and the captain when things go pear-shaped. Choices were made. I think they were good choices.
Nothing's gone pear-shaped.
Nothing's gone pear-shaped, Captain, and we get to enjoy all of this. Downhill from here. A bit like our careers, really. Fantastic. Can't see it, winds all the way down there, then along the edge of the cliff and goes round the corner into Kinlochleven. Awesome, Captain. Nice one, Captain. Oh, super. 3 miles to Kinlochleven. with a weir there. Big pipes from the dam into Kinlochleven. So there we go, Kinlochleven, just passing by the turbine house. That's your lot, I'm afraid. 22.5, probably closer to 23 miles today. Particularly the last few miles with that rather large descent from the fells, really quite bad on the old knees. But it's done now. Just going to get the keys to the hostel we're going to, and then we're going to go and put our feet up. Morning, it's Wednesday the 21st at the West Highland Lodge in Kinlochleven, and this is our final day as we have a jaunt towards Fort William and success. Team medals for the captain and I. Good morning, Captain.
Good morning, mate.
As you can see, this morning at the Kinlochleven, lots of cloud, it's quite cool. Dark. Rejoint off piste with the captain. Going to take a quick snap. Footpath to Fort William by the leg. Well, the climb out to the valley is a little on the vigorous side, but it gains us some height out the valley where we can pass down the side of Lochs, one of the fells or bens or Munros here. And the captain and I have made sure to apply a lot of our anti-midge spray, haven't we, Captain?
Awesome.
One of the nice things about this journey, and there's been a lot of it, is wherever we've gone, there's been little pockets of just loveliness. A simple waterfall, a little bit of a ford, with a bit of scenery. It's like a punctuation in a story, if you will. No matter where you go, it's been lovely. I'm going to go and look for some more. Well, we're about an hour into it. The captain and I have sort of washed ashore here to the top of Kinlochmore, which apparently has its own version of the Devil's Staircase to ascend the valley. Still, it's one kilometre less towards our goal, isn't it, Captain? Yeah. So it's on with the coats, off with the coats, on with the coats, and when the music stops, you're in Fort William. We'll see you there. Little train of groups of people on the last leg, like we are, of the West Highland Way. Everyone's feet probably throbbing away, wouldn't you say, Captain?
I would think so, if they're anything like mine.
And they probably are.
I don't think you're going to be polishing your ring in there.
I don't think so. But I think we'll take 5, maybe a biscuit or something, at the old ruin of the historic building of dangerous building. Okay. Please keep out. Just to give you an idea of how the weather can and has changed. Quite a storm that we saw moving up the valley. So I'm going to pop the old GoPro away in my jacket just to keep everything tickety-boo. It just goes to show how 1 minute we're enjoying a nice Cajun slice and a slurp of tea, but the next minute we're zipping ourselves up with multiple layers of Gore-Tex. Okay, the next thing you'll see is when the weather clears up. Bye bye for now. Fort William is that way. Whew. Well, we've left that monsoon behind. It seems after this gate the trail will, like we mentioned, swing around to the north as we're ticking off the K's to Fort William. Thank you, Captain. Make sure it's shut. Gear still on, still a bit breezy, you can probably hear that. Sky's starting to clear a little. Underfoot, always something to think about. It's easier here and there. Some of it's little lumps of rock, size of your fist, which makes obviously walking difficult. Some of it's a bit gritty, which makes life a bit easier on the old plates. So, still a little way off to Fort William. Still a bit more scenery to see. And yeah, sky's trying to turn blue. We'll see about that. Making some good headway now.
Giving good head.
Cut. So the first few pines on the route on this last day as we head towards the Glen Nevis forest. The old Ben Nevis should be hoving into view in the next 5 or 6 miles, though it should be peeking out of the shoulders of the other bends in the area. Well, the weather's picked up. You can see the path zigzags along here, goes along here, and it goes off and off and off. Eventually we're going to climb a bit gently and enter the Glen Nevis forest, where things will be quite alpine, and it's not far to the end where we'll have tea and medals. But in the meantime, now the weather's calmed down and we can actually raise our heads from the showering rain, we can enjoy the scenery, because you can too. Not far now. All scattering the pines over there, isn't there?
Yeah.
So we're starting to approach the Glen Nevis forest, where you can see there's bits and bobs of pine here from the Forestry Commission of Scotland. Caps and I just having a spot of lunch and taking on some more painkillers. Well, we're just taking 5 just to take in the gentle breeze in all these pines. The birds in the background, and just over there behind this copse of pines here somewhere, there's the sound of a rushing river. So just before we hammer across the finish line, which is going to happen obviously. Like we said at the start, it's not always about the destination. Oh, there has to be to some degree. We've all got to go back to work and normal lives and things, but we just want to have 5 minutes out, wouldn't you say, Captain?
Sorry mate, got an approximate.
So, Glen Nevis Forest, lovely like I said earlier. Oh, as the sun comes out, Ben Nevis is making itself felt. So, Captain, now you can see the slopes of it there and what it might involve. What are your thoughts about giving it a bash tomorrow?
It won't be the thing I'm bashing tomorrow.
And on that bombshell, stay tuned after 9 PM for some more exclusive content. Not far.
Alright.
Captain and I come through the Glen Nevis forest plantation proper now, which covers all the hillsides between here and Fort William. One of the last signs we're going to have here is indicating the way. One of the many signs we've filmed along our route is just as we come round the corner. and start to descend through the forest, which will take us to Fort William, is the old there's Ben Nevis. Winding our way down now, just getting our first glimpses of the outskirts. Take a look if you want. You probably can't see a lot from here, but again, we come round another fell, another Ben on Munro, another edge of a hill, another valley, something else to see. And this is what we found with Scotland, it's all so much more. Another valley, another river, waterfall, challenging weather, rock face, huge brooding forest. It's been fantastic. No, it's not over. The end's in sight, probably about a mile and a half. But I think we've made the sensible decision when you start looking again there at old Mr. Nevis. Ooh. So the journey, yes, coming up on probably on 95th mile. So the captain and I are going to bid farewell to the gravelly trails through the forest. All that lies ahead of us now and into Fort William, where there'll be footage of us crossing the finishing line, is tarmac footpath. But that's okay, I think we've earned it today. The original end of the West Highland Way. Congratulations, the Ben Nevis Highland Centre. Hey. There it is. Made it, Captain.
If you do like a beer, that might be
Fantastic. How are you feeling there, Captain?
Absolutely not good, but elated.
Excellent. We made it. Oh, and look at the lovely view. Well, hello and welcome to the end of the West Highland Way. 96 miles of fun and laughs, blisters, split toes, codeine and exploding knees, but we made it. We set out 6 days, and even though we're old farts, we made it. So check out some of the links at the end of this video for some of the captain's awesome photography. If you like this video, click on some of the other links. We've done now. Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you following us on this journey. We're going to the pub, so ta-ra, and thank you for following us.
well done, news.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, now.
Well, the captain and I feel a bit emotional now. It's just 96 miles of pain, but the pub's going to make up for it. Like we said there, thanks for joining us. It's been a laugh.
Epic.
The skull of the pipes. Aye. Oh, careful. So yes, drinks. Anyway, thanks for joining us. And on that bombshell, here's the Ben Nevis pub and whiskey bar. Come on, Captain, let's roll.